All right, back to the news breaking from Beirut, with Israel retaliating for that deadly rocket attack from Lebanon. Defense forces carrying out a targeted strike, as they put it, in Beirut on a Hezbollah commander who's the target of that strike. The Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has been blaming Hezbollah for the attack over the weekend on that soccer field, leaving 12 children dead. Retired four-star General Wesley Clark is our guest on this. We knew Netanyahu said it would be severe, something would happen. Tonight we get the strike. I don't know if they hit their target or not. We've heard reports of 1 dead, 30-plus injured, outskirts of Beirut. But I think the big question is, now what? What comes next?
Yeah, it really depends on the Iranian reaction to this. And my guess is the Iranians don't want any escalation any more than the Israelis do. So I think this is going to be another case of if Israel's satisfied, the initial news says they did not get the senior Hezbollah commander. But if Israel's satisfied and doesn't go after him again, I think Iran will make some loud noises and try to contain this. Iran's in a difficult position because they're about to get, or may have already, nuclear weapons. They don't want it exposed. They haven't decided what to do about it. And going into a full-fledged conflict with Israel would wreck all their plans. So they don't want that.
That's the obvious fear, all-out war between Hezbollah and Israel. It came up in the White House briefing as this news was just breaking when the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, was answering questions from reporters a short time ago. Here's what she said.
We have to, continue to be optimistic here. I think it's important to have a diplomatic solution. We do not want to see an escalation. We do not want to see an all-out war.
And your point is that Iran, the proxy here, or with its proxies, doesn't want that either. It's not in their interest, all-out war.
I think that's right. I think Iran doesn't want it. Israel doesn't want it. The United States doesn't want it. But Iran doesn't want to give up on its leadership of these terrorist groups. It certainly doesn't want to make Hezbollah look weak and lose credibility in the region or in Lebanon, where it's got a leading role in the government. So Iran's walking a fine line on this.
What about a comparison for people who don't follow or don't know what Hezbollah is all about between what, hypothetically, of course, we hope it's avoided, a war between Israel and Hezbollah would look like compared to what we're seeing in Gaza between Israel and Hamas?
A war between Hezbollah and Israel would be much more intense. Hezbollah's got a much stronger arsenal, and Israel has gone into Lebanon before without great success. Hezbollah's prepared again for another incursion. They've got tunnels, they've got booby traps, they've got minefields, they've got all kinds of civilian support in there. It would be a really, really difficult, expensive operation for Israel. And the best that Israel could hope is to push Hezbollah back a few kilometers from their current positions. And that would be, I think, very, very expensive. Now, it certainly wouldn't be easy for Hezbollah, but Hezbollah has been through assaults now and built up its strongholds for a long time. So this would be a major, major conflict in the region.
What's the role the next few hours and days for the U.S., for the Biden-Harris administration in all of this, do you think?
I think it's just to hold hands with the Israelis and say, we're with you, you don't have to escalate, you've done enough. And at the same time, I'm sure there's communications behind the scenes or through other people in the Gulf with Iran saying, enough's enough. You need to restrain your folks out there.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.